For every trader, the real dream is to find that steady rhythm. It's those stretches when nerves calm down, the market's patterns start to make sense, and gains quietly stack up, month after month. But beneath this pursuit, there's a cost many overlook. It's a price even heavier than financial loss, the emotional toll. The market is relentless. It pushes you past your strategies, making you face your deepest doubts and moments of weakness, bringing out your frustration day after day. This emotional strain is the hidden barrier, the one thing that stands between hopeful beginners and seasoned survivors. No one escapes paying this price. In the early days, you might think this path is just about learning technical skills, figuring out how to read charts, spot patterns, and time your moves. At first, success seems to come down to mastering these techniques. But as time goes on, a tougher truth emerges. The real challenge isn't just on your trading screen, it's happening in your own mind. The constant swings between winning and losing, between feeling right and being proven wrong, these are what really drain a trader. In the beginning, there's a rush. Every trade is full of hope. Each chart pattern seems like the breakthrough that could change everything. That spark of possibility doesn't last long. Soon, anticipation turns into tension. You secure your position, and suddenly your pulse races, your hands start to sweat, and you can't take your eyes off the flickering candlesticks, almost as if watching closely could change what happens next. You make promises to yourself you won't move that stop loss. But minutes later, you find yourself doing it anyway. You swear you'll stick to your trading plan, but fear suddenly takes control. This is where emotional debt begins to build. Every time you break your own promise, it puts a small crack in your self-belief. With every time you move your stop, every impulsive trade you chase, and each rule you ignore, you dig your hole a little deeper. When you lose, it's not just the financial setback that hurts, it's the heavy weight of guilt. There's always that persistent whisper in your mind, reminding you, you slipped up again. With every echo, that burden of guilt grows. Soon, you're no longer trading with a clear head. Instead, your decisions become desperate attempts to undo past mistakes. This is how revenge trading starts, not from sound judgment, but from refusing to accept a loss. Trades aren't made for profit. They're made to ease the pain of being wrong. But the market doesn't punish you for this mistake. Instead, it delivers a lesson. It strips away your capital, your sense of calm, and even your faith in yourself, until an important truth becomes clear: your emotions are the real price you're paying. Every trader pays this emotional cost, though everyone's journey is different. Some face it quickly, others take years, but no one escapes it. This emotional journey is the dividing line that separates those who walk away from those who are transformed by the experience. Consistency only arrives after you've faced true emotional exhaustion. To grow, you need to let go of the self that seeks worth through trading and release the fantasy that you can master every market outcome. You'll know you've reached this phase when the pain of trading changes. It's no longer just about losing money. Instead, it comes from feeling like you're losing control over your own emotions. Some mornings you might wake up and wonder where your sense of self has gone. The charts may start to lose their meaning, and a numbing doubt begins to creep in. You start to ask yourself, am I really cut out for this? This is the moment when the market claims its emotional dues. The process isn't here to break you forever, but to help you shed old habits, making room for a stronger, more resilient you. Every meltdown in front of the screen holds a hidden lesson. Blowing up a trading account because you ignored your own rules, yes, that stings, but that sting is a crash course in discipline. Holding on to a loss for too long teaches you the value of letting go. Jumping into trades too early and watching them backfire, that's the market teaching you the importance of patience. Each mistake adds up, like interest collecting on your emotional balance sheet. But when you start learning from those experiences, you begin to pay off that emotional debt. Soon you'll stop seeing the market as an enemy. Instead, it becomes a flawless mirror, revealing everything that's simmering beneath the surface. Your fears, your greed, your pride, and your uncertainty, all exposed with stunning clarity. Bring impulsiveness to the market, and it will make you confront it. Approach trading with too much pride, and you'll get a lesson in humility. If you let anxiety guide your trades, the market will reveal every insecurity. When you avoid facing these truths, you only end up prolonging your struggles. True consistency doesn't come from ignoring your emotions. It happens when you face them directly until they no longer control your decisions. The most successful traders? They're not necessarily the most talented. Instead, they're the toughest. Emotionally, they've faced doubt. They've experienced loss. They've tasted failure. and sometimes felt overwhelmed. Yet, they kept going. They understood that the market promises nothing except the chance to gain wisdom, if you're willing to pay with your emotions. As we continue, ask yourself, are you held back by fear, uncertainty, or that urge to overtrade? The truth is, most people don't struggle because their methods are wrong. They struggle because of their mindset. That's exactly why I wrote my ebook, Master Your Mind, Master Your Trades. It's a guide packed with practical techniques to help you control your emotions, stay disciplined, and approach trading like a true professional. If you're ready to level up your trading, check out the link in the description and the pinned comment to get your copy. Now, let's move forward. This period feels especially tough for a reason. Your mind is going through a transformation. You're learning to separate your sense of self from your trading results. You're practicing how to stay composed, even when real money is on the line. You're beginning to understand that looking for certainty in an unpredictable world is pointless. This isn't easy. Our minds dislike ambiguity and crave control, yet trading asks you to let go of both. That's why burnout affects so many traders. The emotional pressure is intense. Many believe something is wrong with them just because old mistakes keep coming back. But the truth is, there's nothing wrong at all. They're simply paying an emotional bill that every trader has to settle. The stress, the irritation, the self-doubt, these are the real costs every trader must pay. If you quit now, all that suffering becomes meaningless. The traders who finally master consistency are the ones who face their emotions head-on. They don't run from discomfort, they make it something to study. Instead of blaming the market, they turn their focus inward. Rather than fighting their feelings, they work to understand them. Each time fear shows up, it becomes a lesson. What is this trying to teach me? After every loss, they reflect honestly. Did I stick to my plan? Each victory is met with humility, a reminder that mastery is still ahead. The emotional toll you experience isn't a penalty, but an investment in your growth. Every hurdle you overcome lays the foundation for your trading mindset. Finding composure during a losing streak gives you an edge no indicator can match. Resisting the urge to jump into trades out of FOMO develops real discipline. Accepting a loss with clear-headed focus, that's a true breakthrough. But remember, this transformation takes time. There will be setbacks along the way. There will be mornings when you feel like you finally cracked the code, only for old habits to pull you back in. There will be days when you follow your strategy perfectly, yet still end up with a loss. At these moments, many traders give up. They think setbacks mean they're not moving forward, when in fact, they're quietly growing. Progress in trading rarely feels rewarding. More often, it looks like failure repeating itself. The market will test your patience until staying calm becomes natural, not just something you force. If you can endure this emotional roller coaster, that's when a subtle transformation starts to happen. There comes a morning when you realize the market doesn't intimidate you anymore. You make a trade with steady hands. You take a loss and feel no urge to chase your money right away. This is when you first experience true consistency, not just in your profits, but in your inner world. By this point, you've cleared much of your emotional debt. The pain and setbacks have taught you what real calm feels like. Loss no longer scares you. The repeated struggles have built a genuine respect for discipline, pushing away those fleeting bursts of excitement. Gradually, the need for external validation begins to fade. You no longer look to the market for permission to feel worthy. Your confidence now comes from self-mastery. True consistency in trading doesn't appear just because your balance goes up. It takes root when your emotions no longer control your actions, when you trade without fear, greed, or urgency. That's when you start to embody the trader you've always been, beneath all the chaos. If the grind feels emotionally draining right now, take it as a sign you are exactly where you need to be. You are working through your emotional dues. Every time you resist panic and choose composure, you move one step closer to true freedom. Every time you accept the lesson behind an outcome, instead of pushing it away, you grow stronger. In trading, emotional independence is the real milestone. Financial gains come second. When you earn that inner liberty, the consistent results you've been chasing will naturally follow. Remember, some of the deepest losses in this business never show up in your account records. These losses don't appear in your entry points, your stop levels, or the amount you risk on a trade. They begin deep within. It's a silent erosion, a buildup of emotional strain that slowly creeps in over time. The constant effort to stay composed while chaos swirls all around you gradually wears you down. With each setback, that weight only grows heavier. This is the true cost of trading, the invisible toll it takes on your spirit. When traders share stories of blowing up their accounts, the focus is usually on the money lost, but the real story is different. Few leave trading because their wallets are empty. Most walk away because their emotional reserves are depleted. In the end, it's the exhaustion, not the losses, that finally makes them quit. Financial capital can often be rebuilt, but restoring your emotional strength? That's a much tougher challenge. After a relentless string of losses, when you've done everything right but still can't catch a break, something deeper starts to feel broken. It's a silent struggle, the feeling of being worn down by the process. It's a crossroads that few talk about. Emotional scars can appear long before someone actually decides to walk away. You might notice your trust in your trading plan start to fade. Those setups you once entered with complete confidence now make you hesitate. You start to doubt not just your trade analysis, but your abilities and even your purpose in this journey. Each time you look back, you wonder if all the time, energy, and dedication you poured in was worth it at all. These are losses you can't tally up on a statement. This is true emotional bankruptcy. But in these lowest moments, real transformation begins. When you feel completely drained, when motivation disappears, you're faced with a crucial choice. Will you lay down your tools, or will you rise and adapt? Many never discover the meaning behind this pain. The anguish you feel during long drawdowns isn't there to punish you. Instead, it works like a spotlight, revealing your true self and showing the kind of trader you really are when nothing seems to go right. In the face of adversity, do you unravel? Or do you stay calm and stick to your process? When the pain sets in, do you try to trade your way out, or do you pause, embrace the silence, and let the lesson take hold? The market doesn't challenge your strategies first. It targets your patience and your ability to handle your emotions. In the beginning, these setbacks are easy to overlook. Maybe you take a small loss and feel a bit frustrated, but it just lingers around the edges. You brush it aside, telling yourself that setbacks are just part of the journey. But then, another trade unravels, and another. That quiet string of losses begins to chip away at your confidence. You look at your charts, but now, hesitation starts to creep in. You begin drifting from your plan, making subtle changes based on feeling, not focus. Bit by bit, emotions start to take the wheel, even if you don't notice right away. Until one day, it hits you. Your approach has changed. You're no longer dedicated to the trading process itself. Instead, your main goal is simply to avoid discomfort. Fear of another loss keeps you from taking trades you would have entered before. You exit winning trades too early, desperate not to see your profits disappear. Your analysis turns into paralysis as you become afraid of being wrong. You may believe that these choices keep you safe, but in reality, they're costing you more than just money. They're stealing your courage, clouding your vision, and weakening your ability to act with conviction. These are invisible losses that quietly multiply. They don't show up as numbers or charts, but you can see them in your habits. You notice it in the pause before you make a decision, in the urge to jump into too many trades, or in the obsessive habit of refreshing your trading app after every little move. These feelings wake you in the middle of the night, your mind racing with thoughts of missed opportunities and setbacks. Slowly, you find your trades are guided more by emotion than by logic, not because you don't know better, but because your resilience has been worn thin. The reality is, the market doesn't care. It keeps moving, untouched by your struggles, neither cruel nor kind. No matter how strong your emotions, they won't move the market an inch. No matter how tired you are, the opening bell still rings. This is the heart of trading's psychological battle. You are your own toughest opponent, constantly wrestling with your mind as the market keeps moving forward. Experienced traders know exactly when the screen starts to feel personal, when every price change seems to mirror your own self-worth, when every loss feels like proof that you're not enough, and you start comparing your progress to traders who make winning look easy. Something changes inside you. As you scroll through your social feeds, seeing highlight reels of massive gains, it can start to chip away at your self-belief. You might find yourself wondering, why does success come to them but not to me? What am I missing? That creeping doubt can end up weighing more than any series of red trades. But here's the truth. Every trader who has found real consistency has walked through this same valley of emotion. The key difference is, they didn't turn away from it. Instead, they faced the discomfort and learned to carry it until it became something they could manage. They discovered that successful trading isn't about avoiding pain. It's about moving forward in spite of it, while staying true to yourself. The emotional weight you're carrying right now is building your resilience. It's teaching you how to find balance, and it's giving you the inner strength you'll rely on when the market stakes become even higher. Take a moment to reflect on that. If you can find calm and clarity while steering a small account through stormy waters, just imagine the power you'll have when the real stakes are on the line. The hard truth is, most traders never reach this level. They bow out before the real lesson is revealed. But something profound happens when you begin to see emotional pain as an investment, a crucial part of your education. It stops feeling like a punishment and starts looking like preparation. Every time you face a loss and keep your composure, you're building your reserve of emotional capital. Each time you stick to your strategy, even when you're afraid, your discipline becomes stronger. And every moment you resist the urge to force a trade, your self-control grows. This emotional capital is a wealth far greater than dollars and cents. Because if you lose money but keep your poise, you always have a chance to recover. But when your emotions spiral out of control, it can feel like the ground beneath you disappears. Your clarity fades, your actions become inconsistent, and your execution slips. That's why mastering your emotions must always come before achieving success in trading. Eventually, you'll have to face the emotional challenges that trading brings. It's not about erasing your feelings, it's about choosing to move forward with them by your side. Instead of thinking, I need to get rid of this fear, you'll start to say, fear is here, but my logic still leads my actions. That's the turning point, the moment you begin to build emotional resilience that nothing can shake. Every seasoned trader carries the marks of this journey. They've endured sleepless nights, watched their account balances drop to zero, and faced days full of doubt. But through these challenges, they've discovered a vital lesson, one that you'll need too. You can't ignore your feelings, but you can learn to manage them. The market was never designed to offer constant comfort. Instead, it's meant to reveal how your mind reacts to uncertainty. The real transformation begins when you start seeing losses not as failures, but as feedback. When you move from saying, I lost because luck was against me, to I lost because I deviated from my plan, you enter a whole new level of maturity as a trader. Real transformation starts when you stop asking, why is this happening to me, and begin to ask, what lesson is hidden in this moment? This mindset shift is what separates those stuck at the beginner's gate from those who advance to true professionalism. In trading, growth rarely feels uplifting. More often, it feels like the sting of real discomfort, raw, relentless, and sometimes almost overwhelming. This is the cost you pay to develop genuine composure. The ability to stay centered when pressure builds isn't something you're born with. It's something you develop, forged by constant exposure, setbacks, and honestly examining yourself. The more you spend time in the whirlwind of the market, the more you'll understand emotional steadiness is a craft, not just a concept. No book or video can hand it to you. It only comes from experiencing the storms firsthand until their chaos no longer shakes you. Once you reach that threshold, the weight starts to lift. Yes, pressure and uncertainty may still come, but they won't control your actions. You'll be able to absorb a loss without flinching. You might let a missed opportunity slip by, but your balance will stay steady. You'll notice yourself letting profitable trades run longer without feeling that anxious urge to exit. A calm will settle over your trading sessions, a steadiness that once seemed unreachable, and when you reach this point, you'll look back with clear eyes. You'll see that every unseen setback and silent struggle was quietly preparing you for this breakthrough. This is the essence of emotional mastery. It doesn't appear when things are easy. It's built during those moments when the load feels almost too heavy and you choose to keep going anyway. The weight of these invisible losses doesn't break you. Instead, it makes you stronger, turning the chaos inside into calm control. So if trading feels completely exhausting right now, remember this: you're not falling behind, you're evolving. Every emotion you notice, every wave of fear you ride out, every time you follow your plan instead of giving in to impulse, you're paying the emotional price required for real, lasting success. You're not losing, you're changing. And with that awareness, the heaviness you've been carrying will finally start to lift. The discomfort you feel today is not the end of your story. It's simply the price of personal transformation. Every trader, at some point, reaches a turning point, a moment that almost feels unreal. But it isn't marked by a huge profit or doubling your trading account. Instead, it arrives quietly. Maybe it's the morning after an ordinary loss. You open your chart and you notice something has changed. The anger and discouragement you once felt are gone. In their place, there's a calm sense of understanding. That's when you know you've crossed an invisible threshold. What once drained you now becomes your guide. The emotional price you've paid along the way has turned into real inner wealth. Suddenly, you see trading for what it truly is. It's no longer a desperate attempt to prove yourself. Instead, it becomes a reflection of your own growth. Losses that once felt painful are now just business expenses. The old question, "Why is this happening to me?" fades away, replaced by acceptance and clarity. Now your thinking shifts. Rather than asking, "Why me?" you wonder, "What lesson is the market trying to teach me?" That subtle change in the words you use marks the real beginning of mastery. Emotional debt isn't erased, it's transformed. Every veteran in this arena eventually reaches a point where the same feelings that once broke their focus now become the fuel for their composure. Becoming emotionally free isn't about escaping pain. It's about working through it until it no longer controls what you do. The urge to chase after losses or force trades out of frustration gradually fades away. You find yourself paying closer attention to how the market moves, to what you're feeling, and even to the moments of silence. What used to feel like a battlefield on the charts now becomes a mirror, reflecting who you truly are. And you accept, deep down, that the market owes you nothing. There are no guaranteed profits. But in that acceptance, a deeper power appears: freedom. Freedom from needing to win every trade, freedom from comparing your journey to anyone else's, freedom from letting today's results define your worth. Gradually, you step into the mindset of a business owner, becoming more methodical, more detached, and more patient, leaving behind the habits of a gambler. You start to understand that your true currency isn't just your trading capital, but your emotional reserves. Every reaction, every emotional swing, comes at a cost. Once you've experienced real peace in trading, you can no longer justify wasting your energy on unnecessary turmoil. Oddly enough, many traders give up just when they're on the verge of real transformation. They confuse their exhaustion with defeat, not realizing that this deep fatigue is actually a kind of purification, a necessary clearing out before something new can begin. It's much like how muscles have to tear before they can grow stronger. Our emotions work the same way. They need to reach their breaking point before they become wiser. All those moments of doubt and despair, every time you wondered if your effort was worth it, that was just emotional interest building up. Now, it's time to collect what you've earned. True consistency in trading doesn't start with flawless strategies or perfect predictions. It all starts with emotional balance, the ability to see the market as it is, without letting your own hopes cloud your view. There's something deeply human about this journey. In the beginning, every trader craves victory above everything else. But with time and experience, your priorities begin to shift. Winning quickly doesn't matter as much anymore. Endurance becomes the true sign of success. The need for adrenaline is replaced by a desire for simplicity and precision. What was once a thrilling rush evolves into something more meaningful, a sense of control and a quiet confidence. No matter what the market brings, you know you can remain steady. Instead of trying to predict what will happen next, you learn to adapt. You engage with price action rather than fight it. You stop arguing with your charts and begin to move in sync with them. This is where emotional maturity in trading truly shows itself, a calm that's earned through experience, not given for free. Over time, your trading results start to reflect that inner peace. Trades that once made you anxious now feel routine. Losing streaks that used to shake your confidence become just another part of the process. When a stop loss hits, you don't fall apart because you trust the logic behind your strategy. Your faith in your trading edge remains solid, strengthened by seeing it survive setback after setback. You trust yourself, knowing you've weathered every storm before. But what's truly remarkable is how this growth reaches far beyond the trading screen. You find yourself less reactive in conversations, listening more and responding thoughtfully. Stress no longer sticks, it rolls off your shoulders. You pause, reflect, and respond with intention. Trading teaches you to let go emotionally, and that newfound skill helps protect your sense of calm in every aspect of daily life. The patience that keeps you steady in a good trade now supports you, no matter what challenges appear elsewhere. You don't feel the urgent need to rush your journey anymore, or the pressure to prove your worth with constant results. The thrill of non-stop wins isn't needed now. The process itself feels rewarding. You're gradually honing your craft and building your character. Then it clicks: consistency isn't some distant goal you have to chase. Instead, it grows from within, showing up when you stop letting emotions control you. All those years of frustration and doubt were quietly paying down your emotional debts. Now stability is your reward. The losses that used to knock you down have become the solid foundation of your emotional strength. This phase isn't showy. There are no crowds cheering you on, no neon signs announcing your arrival. What stands out now is the quiet. The constant chatter in your mind has faded. You watch as the market rises and falls, and you simply move with it. Chasing perfect trades is no longer your focus. Instead, you rely on probability, confident in your edge over time. The results of a single trade don't shake your emotions anymore. Now your attention is on the bigger picture, the steady consistency of your results over the long run. This is the moment you truly understand what it means to be a professional in this field. It's not just about controlling your emotions, it's about finding balance with them. You don't try to lock away fear. Instead, you recognize it and learn to work with it. Greed isn't something you deny, you channel it, making it constructive. When euphoria comes, it doesn't overwhelm you. You stay grounded. You've earned this sense of calm through perseverance, and now it's yours. At this stage, trading feels almost effortless. Yes, losses still happen, but they don't disturb your inner balance. Wins arrive too, yet they don't inflate your ego. You move with the market aware, disciplined, and always ready to adapt. In a twist that almost seems unbelievable, it's only after you've endured all that hardship and growth, after you've settled every emotional debt, that the real truth finally becomes clear. The market was never the thing that needed to change. It was you. You've shifted from fighting the market to moving alongside it, from emotional chaos to sharp internal clarity. Where you once paid a heavy emotional price, you now enjoy the steady interest of peace. This is the milestone so many aspiring traders hope to reach, but few do not because it's impossible, but because so many leave before letting discomfort truly shape them. At last, you realize that every setback had a purpose. Every failed trade, every restless night, every setup that didn't work out, they were all part of your education. Each was an investment in yourself. In reality, you weren't losing, you were growing. Your resilience was compounding over time. Now that investment pays off as true mastery. Trading isn't a way to escape your feelings anymore. It's become a practice in calm presence. With your emotional accounts finally in balance, you've become the trader most people only dream of: steady, composed, and free from emotional turmoil. And that's when it hits you, the truth that was always there, hidden in plain sight. Trading was never just about the dollars or the profits. Deep down, it's always been about refining your own character. It's about understanding yourself and mastering who you are.